Everybody, Earl at thelogbook.com. We're back for more Voyages of Shelf Discovery, and we're not diving into the grab bag on this occasion because I have something specific that I want to open on this occasion. This is something that I had not heard before. This is from the Pixar Spotlight series. It's Wall-E. Remember Wall-E, don't you? I am a big fan of Wall-E. You would probably think that I am not in the age bracket that is supposed to be watching Wall-E, but you have to keep in mind I had a little one at the time that that movie came out, and we watched that movie a lot. And I grew very fond of it myself, for reasons beyond sentimentally. I think it's a very good, a really good, valid example of a decent science fiction movie, and the packaging is not coming open the way that I was expecting it to. So we have a we have a little card here. I guess it's kind of like a sketch card. That's cute. Let me find a place to put some of these things. Wing the microphone with them while I'm at it, and let's see if we can get this open. There we go. Finally. I make a big deal out of trying not to destroy the packaging. I don't know if I succeeded on this occasion. Sorry, box. As you can see, this is not your garden variety thing. I mean, this is more like the Pixar equivalent of a Black Series or something like that. You've got gobs of accessories, alternate head, even. And all of it is... Okay, so we have our little cockroach friend. We have well, thank goodness for editing, because that was one of the most frustrating experiences I have ever had opening a single action figure. I'm going to try very hard to not just go on a rant about that. But here is the little dude himself. And here's the really neat thing about this. He has quite an array of motion. His arms... his arms slide forward, they spread out. His hands obviously have some movement to them. And he, the joints on his tractor treads, you could actually have him stand on them rather than roll on them. They are wheeled, so he can roll around. And, quite a range of motion on his head there. So it's really up to you if you want him to have the head that has, the eyes exposed, or if you want the piece that has the panels on them. There's a little handle on the back that pops in or out. And I noticed that if it pops out, you can have him carry his, his stuff in the cooler there, so he can carry the plant around. And I'm assuming that there is a way to open the front panel so he can do his trash compacting routine, since the little cube is included and it looks like it fits in there. But this is a really really nice figure. It comes at a bit of a premium price, but the you can move the arms all the way forward if you like. They have these grooves that they travel in down the side. So very very nicely done there. The detailing is just off the scale, of course. Wally's kind of a challenge to do the deco on, because when we meet him, he is weathered. Extremely weathered. And in case you're wondering why in the world I felt the need to have a Wally this big. And by the way, and before I get off on that tangent, there are holes between the wheels, and so I presume that allows you. I'm sure the stand, the stand does have pegs on it in different configurations. If you want to have him, doing dance moves, you can attach to the pegs on the stand, and it will, he will be able to hold that pose. One of the reasons I wanted a Wally this large was because just kind of eyeballing him, it looked like he was around the same scale as the Diamond Select action figures from the Black Hole. Now, that may seem like a really weird thing, other than, I like the robots from both movies, but I have a personal theory that Wally and the Black Hole happen in the same universe. And, it has a lot to do with there being some similarity in design elements to the various robots. I mean, if you look at Wally's eyes, it's not a huge stretch to imagine that this line of technology perhaps leads to Old Bob. And then, Old Bob evolves to, that design eventually evolves to Vincent. And then that design eventually evolves to something much more hardened and space-capable like Eve from Wally. I'll put a link. I've talked about this theory extensively in my blog and also in one of my books, just to annoy people. Just to weird people out, because they're two movies you do not think of in the same breath. But, just very, very nice, detailed, kind of large scale, but still, he's not going to take up your whole desk. Just being Wally there. So, and trying to figure out, yes, his hands do articulate. So he can, my arm suddenly got very loose. Interesting. So he can, in theory, hold on to, like, a fire extinguisher. But I will include a link to the grand unification theory of the Black Hole and Wally. which also has some story justifications for that. And so, yes, Wally is going to sit on my robot shelf up here with Vincent and old Bob. And he's probably going to be scratching his head about that, as I'm sure all of you are right now. Thank you for watching.